their house as well. In fact, on Friday, he loaded them up on a bus, brought them over here, and this is where they practice. He wanted them to see the ball in this stadium, feel the wind. He said if every single detail in the NFL counts, then playing at home counts. Adam, these fans know this counts.
69,000 plus in Nick Sirianni's home debut. Philadelphia will kick away, and off we go in week 2. Trenton Cannon picked up off waivers. You will see that sail over his head. And it'll be Jimmy Garoppolo's turn to start this game off. They had a fumble on the opening snap offensively last week, but they got much sharper as the game went on, put up 41 points, most of that from the offense, and it is Garoppolo's offense.
It is Garoppolo's offense, and he played exceptionally well. They will have a package for Trey Lance, but as long as Jimmy Garoppolo can stay healthy, this is his baby, man. This is his offense.
A lot of pre-snap motion, a handoff for Elijah Mitchell, the rookie, who had a huge debut, but Javon Hargrave had a fantastic opening week. He gets the tackle for loss, and a loss of 4. Niners going to have to find some yardage. They often find it after the catch, and that is where Deebo Samuel thrives. He had a career game last week.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan called him an offensive weapon, and they want to get the ball in his hands any way they can. Jet sweeps, orbit sweeps, throwing him the ball, screens. You name it, he's that dynamic.
Officials timeout here.
Officials timeout due to an issue with the chains.
Fix those on the far side of the field.
Well, the officials had an issue with the chains. You can see them fixing it out, but San Francisco had an issue with the crowd noise right off the bat. And you see, first time in 623 days, right? That crowd noise was effective.
Kyle Shanahan will run this offense. Calling the plays once again. He's happy to have Jimmy Garoppolo back in a QB. Garoppolo is 23-8, and the offense has been much sharper with him at QB compared to some of the backups that have been in for Shanahan. From the 21, they set up the screen for Kyle Juszczyk, and that was off kilter from the start. 3rd down and long coming up against this Philadelphia defense that did not allow a touchdown in week 1. They've got a great front, but it's Eric Wilson in the middle who makes it go.
It really is. I mean, he's the guy from Minnesota coming over here, getting an opportunity to start. He really needs to have disciplined eyes, and he needs to talk to that defensive front to make sure they keep in check with all the motions and the shifts that the 49ers consistently do on every offensive play.
Third and long, cross for Deebo Samuel. Has to cover a lot of space, and he'll get stopped shy of the line to gain by about 4 yards. Wilson right in the thick of things for a Philadelphia 3-and-out to begin their day on defense. So Mitch Wishnowsky, who had a couple of punts last week on the road at Detroit in a victory, will punt away to Jalen Reagor. Had a punt return touchdown last season against Green Bay. Reagor from the 22. Makes the first man miss. And a decent return out across the 30-yard line. Taken out of bounds by Talanoa Hufanga, the rookie. Jalen Hurts, second year out of Oklahoma, the 2nd-round pick. He's coming off his 5th career start after he started the final 4 games last year. It was his best start. They looked good.
He really did look good. Offensively, I love just kind of the rhythm that they got into early. A couple of bubble screens, takes some pressure off of Jalen Hurts, and he was exceptional all day long in week 1 in the opener against Atlanta.
77% completion rate for Hurts. Gonna have to deal with Nick Bosa this afternoon in this solid front for San Francisco. Give to Miles Sanders to start Philadelphia's day, and he gets ripped down by DJ Jones after a gain of 2. Philadelphia put up 32 points in week 1. They didn't have a 30-point game all of last year, only gave up 1 sack. Focus in on Miles Sanders for me, though.
Well, Miles Sanders is one of those great backs. A 3-down back can do everything for Philadelphia. that nobody actually knows about. He's one of those kind of Camara type of guys, you know, the guys that everybody's looking for. They have one here in Philadelphia, and nobody in the nation really knows Miles Sanders.
100 yards from scrimmage last week for Miles Sanders. He picks up 2 more into the arms of Fred Warner. Now, the big story this week in San Francisco was the 49ers defense. They lost Dre Greenlaw to an injury after he had a pick 6 last week. Emmanuel Mosley and Jason Verrett are out, so Josh Norman makes the start at corner.
And they really struggled. It's probably the weakest part of their football team is the corner position. Josh Norman, a veteran, really knows what he's doing. He's practiced well the last couple of weeks. See if he's up to the task.
The rookie Diamador Lenore makes his first start on the other side. On 3rd and 6, 49ers bring pressure. Hurts on the comeback route for Devontae Smith and incomplete with Josh Norman in coverage, but a flag is thrown on the far side of the field.
Pass interference. Defense, number 26. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Josh Norman very aggressive on the outside. You're going to see his hands. He's in press, man coverage right here. And there it is. He continues to have his hands on, way past, even a little grab there. Very nice. I mean, very nice positioning, forcing to the sideline. But you know what? A little bit too long holding on there. That's why they got the call. But that's a great start for him. Even though it's a penalty, it's a great start to say, hey, man, you're not going to run by me. I'm going to play this thing straight legit with you.
Press set of downs, and Hurts rolls out. Plenty of time. Deep shot. Looking for Devontae Smith. Incomplete. That time, it was Jaquiski Tartt, the safety, in coverage.
Well, Jalen Hurts has a little boot keep game here. He's looking for the throwback. It's not there. So what does he do? Hey, let me take one deep. What's the worst that's going to happen? You know what? If it gets intercepted, it's like a punt. But here I go, down deep. Maybe I'll get a PI. Maybe we'll be down 1st and goal there. Or maybe we'll get the great catch. Neither of those things happen, but there's nothing wrong with an incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10.
Off the fake, they'll set this screen up with Jalen Reagor. And he works to midfield, tripped up by Tartt after 4. 3rd down and medium coming up here for Philadelphia.
Well, Bosa right here, you see him, watch him just explode back. What you have to do, you read it, and as soon as you see it, now go, take off, go make a play, go see if you can get in, help your buddies. One of the things about these bubble screens, it's really about chasing. It's really about getting 6, 7, 8 guys to that point of attack to eliminate kind of those broken tackles and those big runs.
San Francisco had some issues with Detroit giving up big runs last week. 3rd and 6 on the ground with Sanders. Nothing there. Excellent penetration by Eric Armstead. And Fred Warner helping to finish it off. No gain, and it's 4th down. Fred Warner, you like to use the word actuator. The guys that really make it go for a team, and Fred Warner's one of those guys.
Yes, and Fred Warner's talking about, hey, I've got to be a little bit slower than I normally would be, a little bit deeper than I normally would be, and that's exactly what he does. He reads so well, and once he reads, he's so explosive. I mean, he triggers, and he's there at the line of scrimmage.
And he needs to do that because you got to deal with the quarterback run game as well with Jalen Hurts. Aaron Sipos punts it away, and it was saved shy of the line, but it was unable to be secured. You saw the frustration there from Zach McPherson, the rookie out of Texas Tech. He nearly secured it for Aaron Sipos. Instead, it's just a net punt of 30. San Francisco set bases colliding in Philadelphia today. Of course, the 5-time Super Bowl champion San Francisco 49ers, well represented. Went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, lost to Kansas City. Of course, Philadelphia Super Bowl champion a few years back as well, their first after 3 NFL championships. After a 3 and out, San Francisco starts this drive from the 20. And it's a give to Mitchell. The rookie was fantastic with 100-plus rushing yards in his debut, but for a second straight carry, it's Javon Hargrave there to wrap him up for a loss.
Boy, he was great last week as well. A couple of sacks, big-time pressures in the backfield consistently. And so far, you've seen him on 2 first-down plays, back-to-back drives, dominating the line of scrimmage.
Both of those sacks last week against Atlanta came on some late 4th-down plays to help seal the game. Out of that pre-snap motion. Garoppolo under pressure. Samuel unable to hold on to it. Incomplete is the ruling, and it'll be 3rd down and long for San Francisco.
Well, so far this crowd noise, and it's amazing here. I mean, this stadium is rocking. These fans are into it, and you've seen the lack of timing, the lack of rhythm. Offense is all about having a rhythm, right? It's all about being on time, and they're just not on time because of these fans.
Plenty of noise on 3rd down. Garoppolo looking past the sticks, and it's incomplete for Mohamed Sanu. Couple of 3-and-outs for San Francisco to start.
Oh, that's a throw you got to make. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, this offense, like I said, out of sync. He's asking for the ball right now. He sees the clock winding down. You got to set your feet and throw this thing. That is a wide open receiver for the 1st down in Sanu that he doesn't complete it. Oh, gosh, you got to have that one.
Reagor again, this time from the 29. Good cut on the initial miss. There is a penalty flag thrown as Eric Armstead got down there. Trent Sherfield, beg your pardon, 81, not 91.
Yeah, that's going to be a block in the back, yep. I believe.
Brad Allen is our lead official today.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 21 of the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down, timeout.
That'll be Andre Sacheret on the penalty. So Philadelphia moves backwards a little bit to start their next series with Jalen Hurts at the controls. Edge back in the building. 9.5 to go, opening quarter. Nick Sirianni is the play caller and now head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. Last 3 years as the Indianapolis offensive coordinator. Now calling plays for Jalen Hurts from the 21. And a completion across the 30. He's got the 1st down to Devontae Smith, who had an excellent debut as a rookie last week. Give me a little sense, though. It seems like Sirianni and Hurts out of the gate have been on the same page.
I think they have, and I think one of the things that Sirianni did a great job with last week is getting him comfortable. A couple of bubble screens, a couple of easy throws, a couple of little arrow routes to Devontae Smith like you saw right there. Get him comfortable, get him moving, give him a chance to run and use his athleticism, and it's going to pay dividends, and you saw that.
There's a run for Sanders and a good one on 1st down. He'll pick up 5 as we check in with Carissa Thompson for the first time. CT.
Thanks, Adam. Colts, Rams offense picking up right where they left off last week. Stafford finds Cooper Kupp for this 16-yard score. Stafford 5 for 5 for 82 yards on that opening drive. You think he likes his new offense?
They looked sharp against the Bears last week. Of course, the NFC West with a very successful opening week. The NFC West went unbeaten. On 2nd and 5, out of the flat to Sanders. And he'll set up 3rd down and short after Azeez Al-Shaair made the stop.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart right here, right? That's just flying around, catching one in the flat. Those guys hunting on the San Francisco side, really nice effort to put them in 3rd and short.
Azeez Al-Shaair stepping into that weak side linebacker spot that's left by Dre Greenlaw, who went to the IR, had the pick 6 against Detroit last week, but has to deal with core muscle surgery. 3rd and 1. Option play with Sanders, who gets the pitch and the 1st down. And gets into 49er territory. Run out by the nickel, K'Wan Williams.
Well, when you catch somebody in man coverage on the outside, what do you do? I mean, how do you deal with this right here? Jalen Hurts going right to the defensive end, pitch it out there. You're in man coverage on the outside. Great blocking out there, and that is like stealing. It's too easy.
Right back to the ground, and Kenneth Gainwell, the rookie out of Memphis, picks up 6 yards on his first touch. Gainwell, 5th-round pick, 9 carries and a rushing touchdown. 25 offensive snaps for him in the opener against Atlanta. He's the back on 2nd and 4. And a burrow forward, and Warner is there along with Contavious Street for the stop. 3rd down coming up. Never scored a 30-point game last season for Philadelphia. They had 32 in week 1. Did it with a handful of RPO plays. They ran 11 RPOs, and that's something that you talked about with Fred Warner. They're going to have to cover sideline to sideline with that QB run and option game. Empty set. Hurts off the back foot. He's got his man for a 1st down. It is Gainwell out of the backfield before Al-Shaair tags him after a 9-yard pickup to move the chains.
Really just creating traffic in the middle, but it starts with the pocket, right? And then traffic in the middle. Look at all these receivers getting bunched up. Really hard from a man coverage standpoint to be in a trail position there against that kind of look.
Surge for Gainwell inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. He'll pick up 6 on 1st down. Now some tempo and movement for the Philadelphia offense. An injury for San Francisco. We'll step aside. Kevin Givens is part of the defensive line rotation for San Francisco. He got leg whipped and had to come off the field. So Kyle Shanahan and D'Amico Ryans' defense both dealing with injuries. Mosley out, Verrett out for the year. Mostert went to IR after last week. Dre Greenlaw's hurt. Ambry Thomas, who struggled last week, the rookie at corner, he is inactive today. Injury bug has bitten San Francisco for the last year and a half. Hurts to Rager, and that's a good job by San Francisco to rally to the football. They get him fast after a gain of a yard.
Jalen Hurts asking for a play. Coming to the sideline.
Neither Hurts nor Garoppolo were at the helm last year when these two teams met in San Francisco. San Francisco had 3 turnovers from Nick Mullins in that game. C.J. Beathard had to come in. Eagles ended up winning in prime time a year ago between these two. Hurts rolling, throwing, tough attempt for Smith, and it's incomplete. He had a fellow rookie in Diamador Lenore in coverage. 4th down.
Really nice play design, but boy, San Francisco, watch right here. Watch the triggering of Fred Warner. Now he's going to go force the quarterback right there. Now he's got to turn his shoulders with somebody in his face. He can't quite get the touch that he needs on that football. As soon as Warner saw that boot keep out the backside that was naked, he just triggered, went, affected the throw, and that's why that was an incompletion.
So it'll be Jake Elliott, who hit from 43 last week in his lone field goal attempt. This will be from 45. And the Eagles break the scoreboard first. 3-0 start, Philadelphia. Francisco offense getting prepared. 3-0 Philadelphia on top. First 2 drives for San Francisco have been less than sharp. Trenton Cannon back to return. Just the timing on these first 2 series seems to be off for San Francisco.
Well, it certainly is, and it's led to these miscues. Here we go, right off the bat, little screen. You drop it, you have it blocked perfectly. Another screen out here to Debo. That one is dropped as well. The timing is just off, and then Garoppolo missing the out to Sanu. It's all about the rhythm of an offense. Offense needs to be on time with each other. And if you're not on time, it leads to stepping on toes, right? Now, I'm not a dancer, but that's bad when you're a dancer. But when I do dance, Adam, I dance aggressively. I just want you to know that.
It would be an aggressive form.
Yes, very aggressive dance.
From the 25 to start this drive, and George Kittle makes the grab. Won't be much yardage on the play as Alex Singleton makes the stop. George Kittle had a mammoth game last year against Philadelphia, 183 yards and 15 catches with a touchdown.
But think about where it comes. I mean, that's just a little stick route, little out route on the outside there while he's in the slot. But where does that come from? It comes from running the ball. It comes from that outside zone and then that boot keep off the back end where guys aren't covering you. They get lost trying to defend the run. They're not running the ball right now. Hard to have those kind of plays and that kind of success.
Play fake to Mitchell. Garoppolo deep and nearly intercepted. Anthony Harris was back there for Philadelphia. Good pressure that time from Josh Sweat, who just signed a big extension. 3rd down and 9 coming up.
Well, Sweat on the outside coming down here. McGlinchey, I mean, gets the hand swat. And again, that's being a little bit late. That's having that crowd noise affect you. That's not being set and funneling a guy where you want him to be. You want to make sure, hey, I'm going to funnel you outside. Don't let me swat your hands or don't let my hands get swat and just push you by the quarterback. Didn't do a good enough job there. Sweat with a great hand swipe.
4-man rush. Garoppolo having to move in the pocket. Had to dump it off for JaMycal Hasty. And he's going to be hit shy of the line to gain at the 34. Alex Singleton and Fletcher Cox, the veteran, both there. So far, it feels like Philadelphia's defense has done a good job of handling the pre-snap. We've talked a lot about eye discipline with Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator, the other day. It seems to be okay so far.
It's been great when it really starts with penetration and dominating the line of scrimmage from your defensive line. When that happens, it really is a hard thing to get going on the offensive side.
Their catch from Rager. Philadelphia's defense has forced 3 3-and-outs to start their day. They didn't allow a touchdown last week. It's carried over into week 2.
Get yourself some water. You earned it. Here's the last play. And this is hustle. Look at the double team right here. Inside with the offensive line. Read it. Put your foot to the ground. Go help out on the bubble screen. Get yourself off the field. I tell you what, the guy's still playing at an extremely high level.
6-time Pro Bowler now watches his offense go to work, and it's Miles Sanders running into DJ Jones after a gain of 6. San Francisco's defense held strong, helped Philadelphia to a field goal attempt on the last series. D'Amico Ryans replacing Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator, calling plays for just the 2nd time in a regular season game. Let's do it in his old stomping grounds. So he returns to Philadelphia again. Out of the empty set, the timing was off with Sanders lined up wide. And Diamador Lenore, the closest man to it. 3rd down coming up.
Miscommunication, but you know, here we are in a 3rd down and short situation again. So far, the Eagles have been in 3rd and 6, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 3. When you're in those situations, your opportunity to essentially convert, I mean, it goes up exponentially from the 3rd down and long situations the 49ers have found themselves in.
And these two teams both struggled with a lot of 3rd and longs a year ago. They had a lot of 3rd and longs compared to the rest of the league. So far, it's been more of a problem for San Francisco in this game. Hurts has a lot of green grass, and he's going to pick up that 1st down. Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. 12-yard run for Jalen Hurts.
Well, he feels the pressure. They bring the middle linebacker, Warner, in there to create pressure. He feels it. He sees it. As soon as he sees it, he runs away from him. Bosa has wide open edges out there. He saw the linebacker out covering the back man-to-man, so he knows he's getting man right off the bat. That's a pre-snap read. Gets to the edge right there, converts the 1st down.
2 of the 3 first downs, or 3rd down conversions for Philadelphia have come on Hurts runs. Hurts moving out of the pocket again. Got rid of it to Smith, who took a shot from Lenore. Not much on the play. After the 5-yard pickup, no yards after catch, but Lenore was there for the stop.
It's amazing what a quarterback does for you when they have that movement skill, right? When they have that ability to save your bacon. I used to always call it making up for a multitude of my sins, right? When I'm sinning out there, those guys...
You're quite the sinner at times.
Right. Those guys are like a papal blessing, right? They just put their hand on you and said, I forgive you, my son. I'm going to scramble. Jalen Hurts certainly bailed them out right there.
Well, shifty maneuvering from Kenneth Gainwell. He gets swallowed up by Kentavius Street. Both of these teams have deep defensive line rotations.
Really good job, Kentavius Street, using the rip move on the double team. See his arm up there? The rip. Now he just keeps pushing, keep pushing, and get to the running back in the backfield. I tell you what, those are the things. When you get double teamed, you can defeat it, because two things happen. It frees up your middle linebackers just to run, but also if you can make the play, now I've taken 2 out and I've made a play with 1-on-2. Really nice play by Street.
This is the longest third down for Philadelphia so far at 3rd and 7. Hurts with time, has a man, and it's caught. Quez Watkins has the big gainer. There is a penalty marker thrown at midfield as he works into San Francisco territory. We'll check the flag.
Well, it starts with protection, because you're bringing an all-out blitz, and when you're in man coverage, you can't cover for 4 seconds. And I tell you, you get wide receivers that are going to go ahead and throw blocks, you're going to have an opportunity.
Illegal contact, number 24, defense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
They'll decline the penalty against Williams and take the gain.
Well, here it is. I mean, here we go on Bosa. Now watch this right here. Reagor on the edge. Go ahead, little fella. Knock down the defensive end. That's what ends up. And then Alshire bumps over that, because this is great coverage. You're expecting right now that to be you know, the quarterback to be pressured. You're supposed to be at the quarterback. When it's gone that long, you're guessing as a defensive back, there's nothing you can do, and it starts with blocking up front.
The 26-yard gain. Hurts taking a shot, looking for Reagor. Caught! Touchdown! Tested the rookie corner.
Yeah, and Lenoir had great coverage right here. He's in face. Watch, he gets his hand in there. He's driving him to the sideline. Does his feet go out? I think he does. I think Lenoir thinks he stepped out of bounds, and that's why he quits the coverage right there. Let's look tight. Pushing him to the sideline, using it as an extra defender, and right there, the heel is out of bounds.
They stepped out maybe twice even. Every scoring play is reviewed.
Ruling on the field of a touchdown is under further review.
I think one of the interesting things is spatial awareness, because you could see that spatial awareness that he had right there. He knew he forced him out of bounds.
To whether or not Jalen Reagor stepped out of bounds, it looked like he did. Dean Blandino is with us. It's about reestablishing position on the field, correct?
Yeah, but he did step out of bounds. So this is coming back. The only question is, did he reestablish, and was he the first to touch? It would be an illegal touch foul, which is just a loss of down at the previous spot. Or if he doesn't reestablish, it's an incomplete pass. So the result is the same. It's that right foot right there at the 5-yard line. If that's out, he doesn't reestablish, it's incomplete. But the left foot stepped out prior to that. You can see it right, that step right there.
Yeah, it looked like the left foot, then the right foot there as well. Dean walking us through the mechanics of this. It was 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. And again, as Dean mentioned, illegal touching would just be the same as essentially an incomplete pass. Flag is down.
After reviewing the play, illegal touching, number 10 offense, went out of bounds and was first to touch. By rule, this is loss of down at the previous spot. Brings up second down.
They meant to say 18, not 10, but again, it's 2nd down and 10. Essentially an incompletion.
Yeah, an incompletion, but you went from a touchdown to losing your down, you know? I mean,
yeah, just to establish where we're at again. That's tough, though. Again, that's good coverage. You were talking about this.
Right.
San Francisco's rookie cornerback is going to be tested today. Their corners, Josh Norman back for the first time. They're going to go after those corners. That was decent coverage by Lenoir, even though there was a touchdown.
Yeah.
He used the sideline properly.
Yeah, it was a great. Knowing where your leverage is, knowing where you want to play it, knowing where the sideline is, and an extra defender.
Safety blitz coming for San Francisco. Sanders runs right at it. And he's going to pick up good yardage, about 9. Made Fred Warner miss and was able to work himself for a good gain. We're through one quarter in Philadelphia. A 3-0 lead. The defenses showed out early. The Eagles crowd, Brian Dawkins and the all-time leader in receptions, Harold Carmichael. Zach Ertz, his teammate freshly blonde as well to follow him. Jason Kelsey went blonde this week too with Zach Ertz. Zach's second all-time in receptions behind Harold Carmichael. 3rd down and 1 after the Gainwell gain. We'll hand it off for Miles Sanders, who is unable to break that first wave. That's a key play by DJ Jones, plugging up the middle to force 4th down.
DJ Jones just getting in, deep penetration, all the guys up front, and that's just movement. Brooks gets a little dinged up right there. The left guard, who's a really good player. You see him grabbing his hand. I'm not sure exactly what went on there, but really nice play by DJ Jones to essentially create that penetration and stop Sanders.
Jake Elliott, good from 45. We'll try from 47 here. That's blocked. Loose ball, though, to the Eagles. It's grabbed by Dallas Goedert. He still has an opportunity for the first down, but he's going to be hit shy of the line to gain. Wild sequence, and Philadelphia walks away with no points. San Francisco holds up once more.
Right here in the middle, that's Kinlaw getting his big paws up there, 99. Getting that height, making that jump, and then you want to talk about hustling. Look at all those 49ers get to the edge. Kyle
Shanahan was looking down.
Play. Like, what am I going to run?
Might have reacted to the crowd making the noise, but Kinlaw comes up clutch. Remember, he did not play week 1 with that knee issue, beg your pardon. That is a key play, and to the 49ers defense's credit, they've stepped up often in this first quarter plus so far.
They've had to, and now this offense is incumbent upon them to get something going. They've only had 2 runs so far, both of them for negative gains.
They do not have a first down. They'll run it with Elijah Mitchell, and he gets swallowed up after about 3. No first downs in the first quarter for San Francisco in this contest. First time in 5 years, essentially, that they've had a first quarter like that. That was pre-Kyle Shanahan.
I mean, that's a breakout run for them right now, the way the first quarter went. What did they get, 3 yards?
Yep.
I mean, that's a big-time running play. But I tell you what, it keeps you on schedule, right? Now it helps you to open up your play action. You just ran a toss. Do you run some type of toss play action, naked boot off of it? Changing the play at the line of scrimmage, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Off the check, throwing to Juszczyk. Out of the backfield, got hit by Harris right near the sticks. This will depend on the spot. They'll give him the first down. Look to be right at the line to gain. Remove the chains. First time we've seen Kyle Juszczyk get a touch. They targeted him earlier, but Juszczyk a key piece to this offense.
Huge piece to this offense, and he's one of those guys that has so many responsibilities from a movement standpoint, a shift standpoint, multiple position standpoint. Kyle Juszczyk, one of the most versatile players in the league.
First down for San Francisco. Garoppolo moving, and to deliver outside. George Kittle with a solid gain as we check in with Carissa Thompson with a game break.
Thank you so much, Adam. Bills up 7-0 in Miami, looking to bounce back from that week 1 loss to the Steelers. Josh Allen scrambles, eventually finds his favorite target, Stephon Diggs, for this 5-yard score. But bad news for Miami. Tua carted off with a rib injury. Jacoby Brissett takes over. Bills lead 14-0. Adam.
Boy, we've seen Tua get hurt today. Andy Dalton got hurt in the Bears game. Justin Fields is in. Baker Mayfield in that same game got hurt. 2nd down and 4. The toss play for Mitchell. Putting his shoulder down, and he picks up 3 more yards to set up 3rd down and 1. They're still on schedule.
There's 2 plays so far that have been positive in the run game, and you see the adjustment they've made. They've gone from handoff to toss. Why? Because Philadelphia is jumping the snap count. They're getting so much penetration. They're like, hey, if you want to get the penetration, we're going to toss it outside of you. And they toss it to young back Elijah Mitchell, who just came into camp from day 1 like he was a pro, like a seasoned vet, runs hard, and he's a little thicker and denser than you think. That's what Kyle Shanahan told him.
We'll go right back to him on 3rd down and short. This is going to be close. Listed at 5'10", 200 pounds, the 6th-round pick out of Louisiana. Officials going to want a measurement here.
Here it is right there. We run a little game. You see Graham down here in the bottom, inside pinch. Backers flow over the top. Creates a measurement, but really nice job by Philadelphia, mixing up between their defensive line and their linebackers in a critical situation.
It'll be just short. And decision time for Kyle Shanahan. Near midfield and 4th down coming up.
Well, you haven't done much all game so far.
Looks like Jonathan Gannon's defense will stay out there against Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Quick snap it, you get a toss, run the play action, let Jimmy Garoppolo hit use check.
They've got options here on 4th and short.
Oftentimes you think, hey, can we just get them to jump off sides? But I'd rather go quick count here, get them off guard, and convert this thing.
Quarterback sneak. Garoppolo trying to hold on. It looked like he had enough.
Yeah, I think there was no question. There was a great surge up the middle. Garoppolo converts, and that's a gutsy call. But Kyle Shanahan is sitting there saying, hey, man, we're in the sunshine. Our defense has been on the field far too long. We haven't done anything. And watch the surge right here behind veteran Alex Max getting under there, surging and digging them out. You got Jimmy Garoppolo right underneath there for the conversion. Gutsy call, but I think it's a call that had to be made.
Sure. Kyle Shanahan's offense went for it on 4th down less than 1 time per game last year. They were not supremely aggressive on 4th down a season ago. A fresh set of downs after the conversion. Quick throw and incomplete. Looking for Trent Sherfield. Nearly snagged that. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's really nice hands by Nelson out there disrupting the route. You're running a quick slant route. Nelson gets his hands on you and actually gets you out of rhythm, pushes you inside a little farther than you want on the break, and that's why it looked like an Aaron Pants. It was a perfectly timed pass. It was just the chuck by Nelson that created that timing issue between Jimmy and the receiver, Trent Sherfield.
Juszczyk lined up wide this time. They go to Mitchell on the screen with the cutback and a good gain. Probably the best offensive play from San Francisco today. They pick up 11 yards. Daniel Brunskill, good block on the perimeter that time for Mitchell.
Yeah, get out there on the side. You're just going to get out here, but watch these guys come out, come back, circle around. So there it is. Let them go, and then the timing of it. Here's Brunskill right there, getting the block. Mitchell turning it back inside, and that's how you get a rhythm. Get those quick throws, get those easy completions.
Mitchell gets blown up on that carry by Hassan Ridgeway. Penalty marker thrown on the play as well.
It's on the inside nose guard. They're using the pinch stunts, lining up, scraping the backers over the top, but they're just beating the Niners consistently to the punch.
San Francisco penalty coming.
Hey, listen, I played for a long time. I'm not sure what that hand signal is.
Illegal crackback block. Offense number 6. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Mohamed Sanu gets called for it. Anytime you're blocking back towards the line of scrimmage and you lined up outside the tight end box to begin the play, that is legal. So that's what Sanu gets called for there.
The old crackback block. You know what that used to be called back in my day before they worried about the rules? A block. That's it. It was just called a block. But now it's illegal.
There's Sanu in the middle of that.
Well, I know one thing. Muhammad is not afraid. He'll put his nose in there.
First and a quarter of the field. Garoppolo deep out and incomplete. Looking for Sherfield. That'll bring up 2nd and 25. It's interesting to see the combinations of receivers that are out there. We've mostly seen Samuel, Sherfield, and a little bit of Sanu in some of these 3-wide sets. Brandon Ayuk did play a couple of snaps in this game, but remember, that was one big story last week where Ayuk did not really have the type of impact that maybe people would expect from a first-round pick in his second year.
Yeah, well, you're throwing it between the safety and the rolled-up corner and a cover 2, and that's a wide-open wide receiver, and that's the second wide-open guy Jimmy Garoppolo has missed on an intermediate throw today.
Garoppolo connects this time. He's got Deebo Samuel. Not much after the catch, but it's a good gain. Marcus Epps on the stop. 17-yard pickup, a key one.
Well, Deebo Samuel down here, top of your screen. He's just gonna come in and sit between defenders, 3 defenders in the zone, and that's a guy you need to find touches for him, regardless whether you're throwing it to him, whether you're handing it on a reverse or a jet sweep, or lining him up in the backfield. I mean, I'm one of those guys that thinks that guy could become a running back and get 1,000+ yards. He's that dynamic with the football, and here he is in the backfield as we mentioned it.
They give it to him. Trying to get away from Brandon Graham, and then the rest of the Eagles defense rallies to the ball for the stop. Eric Wilson. '49ers now 0 for 5 on 3rd down.
Yeah, down in the pit. Here he is right here. Samuel. You see they run a little power. It's almost felt like there was a Kittle coming back around there as well on the counter underneath, but Samuel's one of those guys that usually hits the hole. Looks like he took that a little wide based on the blocking scheme. It was almost a kind of tight end counter.
Have to punt from the plus 38-yard line. It'll be a great punt, though, from Mitch Wishnowsky, and it's down by the 49ers. Trent Sherfield did a great job of keeping it in play after he was the first to contact it. Past the halfway point of the second quarter. Some skill position players on display. Still 3-0. San Francisco's offense in plus territory, but Wishnowsky pins the Eagles deep.
You coming off the goal line like this as an offense, about 60% of your playbook is dead. So aggressiveness from the defense is what you're looking for.
Ring 5, Hurts taking a deep shot. He's got his man. Quez Watkins, big gainer. Down inside the 10.
Well, first off, it's all about the pressure. And the Eagles handle the pressure. I mean, this is gutsy. From your own goal line, from the 3-yard line, and then we're just running by. We're getting man-to-man on the outside. Watkins beats his man. Lenoir right off the bat. Beautifully done.
Flags are thrown. They went from their own 2 to San Francisco's 6. Now, the penalty may move this back. 91-yard connection from Hurts to Watkins.
False start. Offense. The entire left side. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's a great call by Brad Allen, the whole left side. But we've seen some really nice throws from Jalen Hurts.
Right. Now, remember, he's got somebody right in his face because they brought pressure. And perfectly, I mean, you couldn't run down there and put it in Watkins' hands any better than that. Just beautifully executed. And you talked about flipping the field. I mean, you're coming off your 3. Now you're down to, well, you were inside the 10, but now you're on the 11-yard line, and the whole game changes. Now you were down 60% of your plays.
Yeah.
Your whole playbook is open now.
Hurts to Gainwell in traffic. It was knocked down. Good play by Arden Key, former Raider in his first year with San Francisco. 2nd and goal from the 11 coming.
He's got those eyes peeking in there, and when you feel it, right? You just feel it. You know something's fishy. They're not blocking you quite the way you're thinking about it. Just go get that mid out there. See if you can make a play for your defense.
Well, it's another guy on this San Francisco D-line that has made a play. They've got Armstead and Ford, and Kinlaw's made a field goal block in this game as well. 2nd and goal. Hurts, end zone, incomplete. Looking for Devontae Smith, but the flag is thrown. Josh Norman was in coverage. This could be the 2nd penalty against Norman. It would give Philadelphia a fresh set of downs.
That's interference. Defense number 26. Ball is placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Josh Norman's in perfect position, but Smith just gets him. Watch him outside leverage here. Just maintain that outside leverage. Inside help. He gets him on a little quick move on the inside. He grabs the hip. It's just a subtle grab. He knows he's getting called for it, but really what set that up is Devontae Smith. That little outside jab that got him further outside than he needed to be. He had to grab the hip to get back inside, and the officials saw it. Really nice job by the rookie.
Off the fake. Hurts rolling. Throw in. Incomplete. Looking for Zach Ertz. 2nd down and goal coming up. The Eagles have over 200 yards of offense in this first half, but have yet to put a touchdown together.
Ertz getting off there. Warner, look at Warner run.
Sanders, there's Warner on cue. Big stop on 2nd and goal. It'll bring up 3rd down. A loss of 3. One of the top tacklers in the NFL.
It's just read, reactability, put your foot in the ground, and there you are. Just understanding what they're running, how they're trying to run it by the blocking scheme, showing up, getting a tackle for loss. I tell you, Warner, I mean, from the drops and when you talk about dropping in coverage and your ability to trigger on when you see something, the explosiveness, there are very few that do it any better than Warner.
Hurts riding it with Sanders, keeping it, cutting it, and forced out of bounds by Jimmy Ward. And the San Francisco defense stands up again. We'll see what the call is going to be on 4th and goal, though, if Philadelphia goes for the end zone or not.
And look at Jimmy Ward. This is where you've got to be. The communication. He's talking to his defenders right here. Tell them where to go, how to get it done. Now he's shooting through the gap, forcing the out-of-bounds play on Hurts. Really nice job showing up right there at the end so they can't score.
Offense out there on 4th down and goal. It's a reverse. Greg Ward, the former college quarterback, cutting it, throwing it, incomplete, and it's a turnover on downs. Nick Sirianni trying to reach into the bag of tricks, but once again, the 49ers hold up. Shades of Philly special, but not the same result. Defensive coordinator has only been an assistant coach for about 4 years, stepping into a big role. He had his defense well prepared for some trickery from Philadelphia on that last possession.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Doing a great job, this defense keeping this offense that's sputtering in this game.
Philadelphia started on their inside their own 5. Now San Francisco starts from its own 3, and they'll run it with Juszczyk. and get some cushion yardage to start the series.
Well, watching this, and this just Philly not so special, if you will. They're going to try to draw the eyes, but these eyes stay right here where they're supposed to be. They play this out. K'Waun Williams. You've also got Arik Armstead. Flat down line of scrimmage. Everything's covered. Nowhere for Ward to go, and he's got to throw it away. And there's the celebration right there. That's right. Celebrate that great play.
Back to the ground, and Mitchell squeezing ahead, setting up third down. After a gain of 5, it was Genard Avery on the stop. Four punts to start the day for the San Francisco offense, trying to get something going. Brandon Aiyuk is out there for a third down and 3. Samuels by himself on the left. Aiyuk in the slot to the right. Garoppolo past the sticks, and holding on was Samuel for the first down. Absorbed the Steven Nelson hit, but they move the chains and keep the ball.
Just running a little flat arrow, meaning he's coming up here, they're rolling this way, and he's just going to find a little hole. And Deebo Samuel, so strong. The hands are so strong. He's so dense as a player. He knows he's going to get popped right here, but watch him snatch it out of the air and get it into his belly as quick as he can to secure the first down. Really nice job initially coming off that goal line with San Francisco.
First time they've converted a third down today. Aiyuk was in motion that time. He'll hand it off for Mitchell. And he'll pick up a couple. Running into Patrick Johnson, a rookie out of Tulane.
Well, this is what happens, right? All of a sudden the momentum shift, right? You don't convert that fourth down on the trick special play. And now what happens? San Francisco getting a little rhythm. The crowd is a little calm right now, and they're being able to execute in the running game, which they haven't been able to do so far. Up until this point, I should say.
That will take us to the 2-minute warning. A defensive slugfest to start. Both defenses throwing punches early. 2-minute warning. Early. Defenses have been the heavyweights to start this game. Here's a heavyweight tight end in George Kittle. Slipping some tackles, reaching for the first down, and getting out of bounds.
George Kittle. I mean, George Kittle is like a big-time wrestler, right? I mean, catching it, breaking tackles, giving stiff arms, giving the stiff leg. Look at the leg. You know what? Jump out of there. I love George Kittle. I love watching him.
He had a bit of a Falcon punch, as he called it last week, on a stiff arm against Detroit. Brandon Graham, though, is down for Philly. Brandon Graham was not putting any weight on one of his feet, and he was able to walk a little bit. You see Graham here.
Right there.
A little bit of a stumble, and then just started limping. He's coming off a Pro Bowl season last year. It's a deep defensive line. They're going to need to dive into that depth. JaMycal Hasty on first down will take it to the 30-yard line. Knocked down by Anthony Harris. 100 seconds remain in the half. All 3 timeouts for San Francisco.
JaMycal Hasty is one of those guys who's just come in and really earned a spot. He's a guy that is great in the passing game. Kyle Shanahan said he's his best back out of the passing game, and also strong, physical, runs with authority.
Garoppolo to Hasty. Past the sticks, first down. Across the 35-yard line, approaching a minute to play in the half. We have not seen Trey Sermon, the rookie third-round pick out of Ohio State. He was inactive last week. He's active this week, but it's been Hasty and Mitchell getting the brunt of the work. Garoppolo on the move. And he'll dive across the 40 to the 42-yard line. 45 seconds and counting. 7-yard run by Garoppolo. Out of the backfield, Hasty out of bounds. Knocked out by Singleton, who's claiming that he made the stop inbounds, but the line judge says that he was out. That stops the clock at 28 seconds.
Still have all 3 of your timeouts. Right now, Philadelphia is just playing a real deep shell. They're just saying, hey, we're going to give you this underneath stuff, try to run you out of timeouts and run you out of time. We're not going to let you get an explosive play on us and put us in field goal, put you in field goal territory.
Remember, San Francisco started this drive from its own 3-yard line. 3 minutes off the clock on this series. 3rd down and 1 coming. They go right back to the sneak. Garoppolo got hit initially and then surged ahead. Looked like Alex Singleton was going to bring him down maybe in the backfield. But he works ahead. Timeout's going to be used by San Francisco. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson. She's got a game break.
I do, Adam. Panthers up 10-0 on the Saints. 3rd and goal. Sam Darnold connects with DJ Moore for this 2-yard score. Darnold with over 200 passing yards and 2 TDs in the first half. Panthers leading this one by a lot, 17-0. Adam?
Panthers with an impressive start to their season. Went against the Jets last week.
And how about the Saints? They blow out the Packers week 1 and now scoreless.
Yeah, struggling to go offensively after they put up 30+. New Orleans allowed the fewest points in week 1. Philadelphia allowed the fewest points in week 2. Or the second fewest points in week 1. They've yet to allow a point here in week 2. Hasty motions out to empty the set. 11th play of this drive is a Garoppolo pass down the seam, and he connects. There goes Deebo Samuel. Yards after contact, stepping out of bounds near the 10-yard line. The strike that San Francisco was looking for, they get it.
Jimmy Garoppolo, who has struggled all day, making it perfect throw right here between the coverage of the linebackers in drop, and then Deebo Samuel run after the catch. He's like a running back out there to put them down near the goal line for a 1st and goal.
Now they talk about Yak, right? The Yak brothers,
right.
Kittle and Samuel. Kittle had that one play to convert a 1st down, and now Samuel on this one to set him up at 1st and 10, but mark him at the 11-yard line.
Whole field's open to you. You got a timeout. You can throw it underneath.
Garoppolo has a man on the perimeter. That's a touchdown. It's Jauan Jennings. His first NFL catch is a touchdown. Devontae Smith's first catch was a touchdown for Philly last week. Jauan Jennings' first grab is a score this week for San Francisco.
Well, here it is. You know what? When Kittle goes down here, watch the attention he gets on this stick China route by Jennings. Coming back inside, everybody goes with Kittle because why wouldn't you? He's George Kittle, and Jennings reaps the benefits of the touchdown pass.
Philadelphia started a drive from inside its own 5, had a 91-yard pass play, the longest the Eagles have seen since it was Vic and Deshaun Jackson hooking up, and they were unable to get the score. San Francisco starts that drive from their own 3, work all the way down, and Jauan Jennings, who's maybe most famously known for getting a game-winning touchdown for Tennessee against Georgia in college, just grabbed his first NFL catch, and it's a score. 7-3 San Francisco. Let's find out what's coming up with Kurt Menefee at halftime.
Coming up on the Verizon Halftime, we'll check out all the early game highlights, including Howie's Raiders against Terry's Steelers, and we'll see what Baker and the Browns are cooking up against the Texans. It's all coming your way on the Verizon Halftime. I better get back inside.
Gonna be late, pal. Get in there. You know, last year San Francisco lost to Philadelphia despite outgaining the Eagles 417 to 267. It was going the opposite way for a while. That huge drive and a huge momentum swing at the end of this first half for the 49ers. Jalen Hurts is going to get the ball back, and remember, Philadelphia gets the ball to start the second half. We had some fun on Big Noon kickoff and Big Noon Saturday this past week. Nebraska gave Oklahoma a scare. We're going to have a good one on Saturday from Soldier Field in Chicago. We got Jack Cohen going up against his former team. The now Notre Dame QB faces Graham Mertz and the Badgers. Coming up on Saturday, Big Noon Saturday on Fox. Big Noon kickoff at 10 a.m. opens it all up for you.
Think of how you're feeling if you're the Eagles right here, right? You've dominated this game. Right now you're going to kneel on it, but you've dominated this game, and you're going to walk into halftime down 7-3. I mean, that's how quickly this game and the momentum of this game can change and affect you.
This felt like 27 minutes of the Eagles kind of having their way, but credit to DeMeco Ryans' defense and an impressive final drive at the first half by Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niners.
Well, we talk about momentum all the time. You stop them on 4th down, a trick play, they're going with that Philly special. They don't get it. And the whole tables turn on you. The energy comes out of the crowd. The offense starts getting back on rhythm. And the next thing you know, you're looking at the wrong end of a 7-3 score.
49ers 7, Eagles 3. It'll be Philadelphia ball on the other side of halftime. Two teams each trying to start 2-0 after impressive victories in week 1. These are two teams that finished last in their divisions last year, trying to pick up and back and marched 97 yards downfield to take the lead.
What are the odds of having a 91-yard catch in an NFL game and it not leading to a score?
It's the longest play in the NFL this season. It'll be Philadelphia ball to start the second half, though. Jalen Hurts will go back to work, down 7-3. Back in the broadcast booth, Adam, Mark, Shannon down on the field as well. Give me a thought from the first 30, and what are you expecting to see in the next?
Well, a dominant performance by the Philadelphia Eagles throughout the majority of that first half until that last drive, but resilient, right? You have to stay in it. You have to continue to fight, and that's what we saw from San Francisco on their offensive possession there, and that's where we are right now, heavyweight fight.
Hurts from the 25. So to give to Miles Sanders. A good run on first down as we check in with Shannon Spake. What you got, bud?
Hey there, Adam. So Nick Sirianni, one phrase he likes to use is common denominator. So I asked him what the common denominator was in not being able to finish the drives, and he put it on himself. He said, I haven't put these guys in the best position, but we do have to handle the penetration a little bit better. I'll get to Kyle Shanahan in just a second.
After this play from Jalen Hurts, under pressure. The ball came out loose. It was snagged by the tight end Jack Stoll. Well, that's a big play by Nick Bosa. That's going to bring up third down. Shannon, I imagine that makes Kyle Shanahan happy.
Absolutely. So I did ask him about his team, and he said he knew that this defense for the Eagles was going to be tough. He said we need to get some dink and dunks and get this offense going. As far as Trey Lance, he told me, I don't think so when I asked him if we would see him in the second.
A good note to keep in mind going forward for San Francisco. Wild sequence there, and it leads to third down and 12 for Philadelphia's offense. Pressure from San Francisco. Hurts. Another deep shot for Smith in traffic, and he cannot come down with it. Jimmy Ward and Deommodore Lenoir both in coverage of the rookie.
Well, they're bringing pressure right now. Alshire gets to the quarterback. Watch him here as he's going to launch. Pressure right there. Gets hit. Throws it up there for his receiver to make a play. And I'm telling you what, Smith almost came down with it.
First 3 and out for Philadelphia's offense today. Aaron Sipos delivers to Brandon Ayuk his first touch. And he gets spun down with a flag thrown. He's down to the 36-yard line. We'll check the marker. Ayuk's only touch last week was on one punt return against Detroit. That was his first touch of the week this week.
It's going to be another block in the back. You see this in special teams all the time. All that field position you got to run with.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 36 the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down. Timeout.
Marcel Harris on the penalty. Jalen Hurts and the Philly offense back to the bench. Jimmy G and company next. Receivers as well. He's been much sharper since. A hard count will get a penalty marker thrown.
Encroachment, number 97, defense. 5-yard penalty. Go first down.
Javon Hargrave on the penalty. Let's get an injury update from Shannon Spink.
Yeah, over here on the Eagles sideline, you got offensive lineman Brandon Brooks, who's ruled out with a chest injury. Brandon Graham, you heard the fans, I should say, chanting his name as he was walked off the field. A 3-time captain. He has been ruled out with an ankle injury, so a big hit to the veterans.
Boy, that is key on both ends in the trenches for Philadelphia. Landon Dickerson was playing guard, the rookie making his debut in the spot of Brooks. There goes Mitchell trying to tumble ahead, and they'll mark him right at the line to gain for 6. TJ Edwards tripped him up, but it's a first down for San Francisco.
Well, they got to get this run game going, and you see the toss right there. You pitch it out to the running back. It allows for that penetration. They got them on the hard count, but that's one thing they've struggled with, the inside penetration of the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. So, hey, forget about the penetration. If we can't block it, let's get outside that penetration and continue to attack that kind of D-gap outside the defensive end.
Garoppolo on the slant. Sherfield absorbed the Singleton hit and still muscled for about 9. The penalty marker is thrown on the play.
That's just big time. That's just big time football by a wide receiver. You know you're going to get hit. Set a tone, be tough, be tougher than the defender, take one in the chops, come down with the catch. I tell you what, you'll get so much respect for just that type of play. They're going to get helmet to helmet here on Singleton.
See, Sherfield stood in there.
There's no foul for a hit on the defensive player. The result of the play is a completed pass.
I'll say he was a runner at that point. You're defenseless if you're in the process of catching it, but once you turn upfield or have possession, you're no longer ruled defenseless.
Well,
it seems like the right no call there.
Well, don't you have to get a couple feet down before you become, that? But he didn't, you know what, he didn't hit him in the head,
yeah,
right?
He didn't lower the head.
Right.
He didn't hit him up top. So
yeah, I like the no call there. I like being able to talk about that and moving on. Let the game go.
118 seconds. The cut back by Mitchell, and he moves the chains. San Francisco's running attack, Kyle Shanahan in charge of it. You've talked a lot about it. There's a lot of teams that kind of mirror or try to model their running attack based on what Kyle Shanahan does. Now, today it hasn't been as effective against a solid Philadelphia defense, but what about the run game makes it so good?
Yeah, well, it's really a crossover from what Mike Shanahan, his father, did in the 90s with the zone. So it all comes off a wide zone, tight zone, but there's so many adjuncts to it and so many different entry points for the fullbacks, for the tight ends, so many shifts and motions, really gets the defense on their heels.
Off the fake, pressure on Garoppolo. He escapes from Ryan Kerrigan, and then on the perimeter he gets brought down by Jannard Avery. 2-yard gain as we check in with CT with the game break.
Thanks, Adam. Rams up 10-6 on the Colts. Opening drive of the second half. Matthew Stafford hands it off to Darrell Henderson, who does the rest. Rams lead this one 17-6. Adam, Mark, and Shannon.
Of course, Carson Wentz, the former Philadelphia Eagle quarterback, in charge of the Colts offense now.
And going back to that running game, when you run one play, you run a 18 or a 19 handoff, but you have a different entry point for your fullback, for your tight end, to the defense and different motions. You can make one play look like 7, 8 different plays, and that's the beauty of it.
You just have so many options off those plays. There's George Kittle. And rumbled down by Wilson. That ball came out momentarily. Alex Mack, the center, went diving to rescue the football at the 49-yard line. We'll see if Kittle is ruled down as well. Looked like the knee was down.
Like the knee was down.
I think Avonte Maddox came in and knocked the ball free at the last moment, but
tell me standing around doesn't pay off, though. Alex Mack standing around right there, ball comes right to you. The story of my life, stand around. Let something good happen for you. Take a break.
And we'll spot him at the 49 as if the ball were ruled as a fumble. Either way, 3rd and 6. Blitz coming from Philadelphia. Garoppolo throws, and it's incomplete. Looking for Deebo Samuel, covered by Steven Nelson. Dangerous pass.
Nelson just maintains outside leverage. Look at him. Backpedal, break on the football, and Deebo Samuel saves the interception right there. That's when you're a DB and you see an errant throw, you see great coverage. Look at Deebo Samuel turn into the DB right there and wrestle that away from Nelson.
Their catch was signaled, but Reagor bailed out, hoping it would take a bounce into the end zone. Instead, Wisnowski pins the Eagles deep again inside their own 10. Will start yet another drive inside its own 10-yard line. They've had to make some adjustments up front in front of Jalen Hurts. Jordan Mailata at left tackle, who just signed that big extension. Sayamalo's in there, Kelsey and Lane Johnson, but Landon Dickerson making his NFL debut today, coming off that torn left ACL in the championship game in college last year, is in there for the injured Brandon Brooks. Option play on the read. Good run for Jalen Hurts of 9. Jimmy Ward on the stop. The defensive end is stressed on these RPO plays.
They are, and you see him right up here. Watch the decision he has to make. How do you do it? You come down hard, you try to float it. He floats it. There goes Jalen Hurts right by. That's a way to get off the goal line, get your quarterback, start getting him back into a rhythm like they were in the first quarter.
And they'll move the chains with a Sanders run.
Look at Mailata. How about that guy? What a story he is, huh? Big offensive tackle, 6'8", 365 pounds. Look at that guy.
Former rugby player in Australia. He said, my life's like a movie this week. Why? Because he went from only knowing about football from watching The Blind Side to now blocking The Blind Side, and he just signed a 4-year, $64 million deal. There's Miles Sanders again, and another good run behind that big line. Mailata leading the way for a gain of 6.
I mean, so big. How about that? Being that kind of athlete. Look at him. I mean, he's 6'8". Here he comes right here. Big dancing bear. I'm telling you what. If I opened up my own coffee shop, I'd have a drink called the Mailata. It'd be the biggest drink you ever had. You'd have to have a doctor's note just to buy it. There'd be so much caffeine in it.
Moves of the chains. I get it because Lotta sounds like latte, and I imagine there's some kind of marketing here that you want to take advantage of.
Take you 2 weeks to drink the Mailata.
He improved as the season went on last year, earned himself that deal up front.
He's a great story and an unbelievably gifted athlete.
Fresh set of downs from the 35. 4 runs to start this series for Philadelphia. It'll be another one for Jalen Hurts with plenty of space up near midfield and another first down on the ground.
Talking to Nick Sirianni, he said, you know, when you're in a funk, when things aren't working out, schemes don't win, players do. Create plays for your players. Right now, his player, number 1, he's creating opportunities for number 1 to drive them off the goal line.
Hurts again, chased by Warner and twisted out of bounds. You make a great point. Players are the ones who kind of get you out of funks, and Philadelphia has been in a little bit of an offensive funk despite some big plays in this contest. Still only 3 points. Nick Sirianni was a wide receiver at Mount Union, played for one of the winningest coaches in football history in Larry Karras. Larry Karras always had sections of plays on his play call sheet for specific players. Sirianni has done the same thing now as an NFL play caller. He's got sections of plays for each of his guys that can make something happen.
He's on section number 1 right now.
Right. Here's Gainwell on second down. Third down and medium coming up for Philadelphia in plus territory.
And running that zone read, which makes it so hard. You know, people talk about the RPO game all the time. Talking to Sirianni, he said, you know, we may run 15 plays, but really it may be 3 RPO passes and 3 RPO runs out of those 15 plays. So everything looks like that, but it's really more limited than you think. And there's less read for the offense and the quarterback than you think. But some of these obviously have been that zone read play where you can hand it off or Jalen Hurts can keep it.
Here is Hurts throwing and connects near the 40-yard line. Alshire knocks down Zach Ertz. Jalen Hurts has had to deal with multiple play callers in his career, going back to his college days at Alabama. His dad was his high school coach in Texas, but then he goes to Alabama. They've had 3, 4, 5 different guys who've been in his ear at various points throughout his few seasons at Alabama. And of course goes to Oklahoma and Lincoln Riley. Give us a great quote yesterday as Gainwell takes it back to the line of scrimmage. The one constant in all of these systems has been me. I've had to make the adjustments. I've had to learn under all of these different voices that have been in my ear. Remember, even Steve Sarkisian was in his ear for one game in the national championship between Kiffin and Dable.
You got to deal with the cards that you're dealt, right? And the bottom line, if you can assimilate all that, and you can take a little piece of each guy, what you like, what you don't like. You said, hey, man, eventually you make a big pot of gumbo, and it serves you well.
Trying to serve up a deep shot again, incomplete. Seeking Devontae Smith, his former Alabama teammate. These young corners have been tested, and they're stepping up at times.
Yeah, and that's Lenoir again. And remember, he got beat for the 91-yarder earlier off the goal line. But doing a good job, hand fighting, doing a good job. We call that staying in phase. You see that hand running with him? So what you're doing is you're, one, slowing him down, staying in contact so you can feel the receiver, but also using your body presence to push toward the sideline to create an extra defender. And that's just really good coverage by the youngster.
Just 2 catches for Smith, neither for big yardage. Blitz from San Francisco. Hurts stands and delivers, incomplete. Looking for Jalen Reagor. Lenoir the closest man to it.
Bosa using his hands against the big guy, Mailata, right here. Great matchup. Mailata's been good. The kick step, there it is. The hands just by him. But look at the feet. You know what? You're beat on the edge, but it doesn't mean you have to give something up. Run your feet. Keep moving. At 6'8", 365, he's got that ability.
Sanu back to return now. He had a punt return last week on the road against his former team, Detroit. Bailout this time because Sipos delivers it inside the 10. Wisnowski and Sipos in a defensive matchup today. The special teams stepping up, forcing long fields. Another one for San Francisco. Last year against Philadelphia, the San Francisco tight end record, 15 catches. So far, just 4 for 17 yards today.
Well, they haven't been able to get the running game going. Therefore, their number one weapon has been, what is normally the play action, the run action, play action throws. They haven't been able to run those. So that's where Kittle usually makes his big-time money.
Deebo Samuel behind the line of scrimmage, takes it past it for a good gain on first down. Knocked down by Anthony Harris. We'll give him 7 yards.
Deebo Samuel's just a football player, right? I mean, he's so dense, thick, tough, nasty. And that's one of those dudes, you just throw it out there, part of the Yak brothers.
Yep.
He's going to get you extra yardage. He's so strong, so big. And he's just got a knack for finding those holes and then running people over. Really is a tone setter for them.
Toss play for Elijah Mitchell, first down. And a powerful run by Mitchell with a good block from Juszczyk.
Well, he doesn't have a whole lot of yards, but here's Kittle, and this is why I think he's the best tight end of the business. Go ahead, stick with it, just pile drive people. That's a 230-pound middle linebacker. Look at him celebrate. He'd rather do that, play in and play out, than catch a ball and go in the end zone. That's what drives him. That's what he loves. Sacrifices for his teammates, and I just think he's the best complete tight end in all of football.
Back to Mitchell. And tripped up by Jannard Avery. Gain of 2. Let's check in with CT with the game break.
Thanks, Adam. Colts trailing 17-6 against the Rams. Carson Wentz finds Zach Pascal for this 8-yard score. 2-point conversion good. Colts down by 3.
First touchdown pass of the day for Carson Wentz. Second down and 8 coming up for the Niners. Quick screen, Jawan Jennings, his second NFL catch. And he'll work past the 30-yard line. It'll be third down and about 3.
Really, really impressed with the tempo right now. They've really struggled, San Francisco, blocking that front. So what have we done? We've gotten to the edge with the toss game, with the pitch game, now the bubble screen game. Get the ball out of our quarterback's hands quickly. These are the things on the sideline when you're struggling, what your coach does for you, saying, hey, we've got to attack them a little bit differently. These are the adjustments that Kyle Shanahan has made as the coordinator / head coach.
On third down, looking for Aiyuk, and he's got it. His first touch in the offense this season, and it converts.
3-step drop. Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't even move his feet. He takes 1 step, bam, get to the out, throw it away from the defender. That's a really nice placement on that ball as Aiyuk turns around. He's got that outside leverage on the defender. Jimmy Garoppolo leads him to the sideline. Really nice play, but that ball was out underneath 1 second. He just caught it and threw it, and that's the adjustment that Kyle Shanahan has made here as the play caller.
Mitchell again. Kittle and Juszczyk with a block on the perimeter. Not much on the play as Derek Barnett made a good adjustment to trip him up after just 2.
Yeah, these two guys. I mean, just watch here, and then Juszczyk will come from the backfield. Just pummeling people. Get to the second level. This is what makes them so tough. Well, at 1 minute, it's Kittle and the offensive tackle executing that block. Then it's Kittle, and then it's Juszczyk together. Then it's Kittle bluffing and going to the second level, and then Juszczyk just slamming him. So there's 3, 4 different looks that you have to face as a defensive end. That's what makes it so hard to defend this run game.
Off the play action. Setting up the screen, and nothing there for Mitchell. Javon Hargraves there again.
Hargrave has just been unbelievable. I mean, big guy. Kyle Shanahan talking to him said, I've never seen him play better than he's playing right now. He gets stymied at the line of scrimmage, but you know what? That's not when the play ends if you're a defensive player, right? You get stymied at the line of scrimmage, you look, you feel, you get down the line, you get in on a tackle and create a third down.
They don't have to run the play, and that'll take us to the end of the quarter. Good old-fashioned Philadelphia street fight. I didn't hear no bell. We're going to the fourth quarter. 7-3 the score. San Francisco on good special teams. A lot of battles in the trenches. We go to the fourth quarter in a 1-score game. Third down for the 49ers. Four-man rush. Garoppolo finds Samuel for the first down. Down to the 44 of Philadelphia. 15-yard pickup to move the chains on third down.
Jimmy Garoppolo just threading the needle. Deebo Samuel on the in-cutting route. Watch him make that decision. Little high-low game with he and George Kittle. Taking the underneath coverage away. Finding the playmaker. The football playing just a Deebo Samuel.
Right back to Mitchell. Wrapped up by Cox from the backside. A gain of about 2. Seven of the last 9 meetings between San Francisco and Philadelphia belong to the Eagles. They've won the last 2. Kyle Shanahan has yet to beat Philadelphia. Nick Sirianni in his home debut as head coach of the Eagles. 2nd and 8. They faked it to Mitchell. They go to Samuel on the end around, using him in multiple fashions. Anthony Harris finally got him out of bounds, a yard shy of the sticks.
Samuel gets to the outside edge. He's going to come cross here on this little orbit motion. Watch him outrun the end, and this is what he does. This is just physical, finishing a run. That's just two guys right there. Harris being physical, Samuel being physical.
He sets up a 3rd down and 1. 49ers have converted 4 of their last 5 on 3rd down. Garoppolo maneuvering. Flag is thrown. He runs for the 1st down, but we'll check the penalty marker at the 38-yard line.
Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face, number 91, defense. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the play. 1st down.
It's Fletcher Cox on the penalty. Add a little bit of yardage to the end of the play.
Oh, Fletcher right here getting double teamed, and you'll see him get up in Alex Mack's face mask. Right here, it comes over late on the double team right there in the face. Alex Mack's kind of doing a good job of acting right here too, right?
You have to sell it a little bit.
Soap opera guy, yeah. So yeah, sell it a little bit.
Boy, Alex Mack though is a key piece to this offense as well. He said a lot of experience, high level, leaned on by a lot of veteran quarterbacks. And Jimmy Garoppolo said, my job's easier because of Alex Mack at center.
Right, re-identifying mics, pointing out the mics, actually creating the protections for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Timeout San Francisco. 12.5 to play. The 26. So it starts to look like 2 tight ends. It's really 2 backs with Juszczyk in there. Here's Hasty with the cut. Good blocking from Alex Mack. Hasty with a good run. Chased towards the sideline. Juszczyk is that movable piece, and he ends up with a good block.
Yeah, he's the guy that's moving across here. You'll see the offensive line get out to the 2nd level right now. There's Juszczyk, and then really nice job attacking inside, holding that defense, and bam, bouncing to the outside toward the sideline as Hasty tries to run to the end zone right here, but really nicely executed. Again, what are we working on? That pitch play, that toss play. Get those guys outside, but make it an outside downhill running play.
A 21-yard run, the longest by either team today. 1st and goal from the 5. Hasty. Good rally by the Philadelphia defense. 2nd down and goal coming up. And now you get into this 4th quarter, and you always talk to me about this because you believe in the value of the 3-yard run in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd quarter. One of the teams oftentimes ends up being out there for a long time defensively. That's the case right now for Philadelphia's defense, which has been pretty good most of the day.
Well, look at this right here. This is going to be the 14th play they're going to run. And as a defender, you're an effort. You know, you're a read, react, run, effort. Offensively, you don't have to have that same kind of effort. So this wears the defense down.
Fake to Hasty. Shovel pass back to Hasty, incomplete. They nearly pulled it off. 3rd down and goal, though.
Well, here it is, coming back inside. The shovel pass. And that's just one. The nice thing about that, oftentimes, you know, everybody scrambles for it, right? But that's just an incomplete pass.
Trent Williams kind of almost got a piece of Hasty on that play. 3rd down and goal coming up. th play of the drive. It's a Garoppolo throw to the corner of the end zone, and a flag is thrown. Sanu matched up with Anthony Harris.
Mohamed Sanu working the slot against
defense number 28. The foul occurred in the end zone. Ball replays the automatic 1st down.
Just man-to-man on the outside right there, and as you can see, I mean, Anthony Harris has his hands all over Mohamed Sanu.
You said it. Sanu's not afraid to get in there. Physical player on the perimeter, but it's first down and goal for San Francisco, and this drive continues. Remember, they had a 97-yard drive that led to the lone touchdown of this game already. Now they set up at the 1. Mitchell behind Juszczyk in the backfield.
This is just power football right here. Come downhill, let's see who's tougher.
Here it is, Mitchell trying to surge ahead, and he's in for the touchdown. Near sideline judge raised his arms as Mitchell just burrowed down.
Just so good at the point of attack, and then Mitchell just understanding, hey, it's BYOB. Bring your own blocker, cover the ball up, put your nose over the goal line. Look at him get down right there. Look at that ball security, both hands on it. There's no way it's going to come out and keep driving the feet toward the goal line.
2 NFL games, 2 rushing touchdowns for Elijah Mitchell. Every scoring play is reviewed. This one was close, so they're taking another look at it. Call on the field was a touchdown. That's the review.
A lot of bodies in there, a lot of mass. Hard to see. Do his knees good? Does any part of his body go down right there? It looks like his knee actually touched before that ball crossed the goal line. Right here, if you look in this window right there, the knee touches, bam, and that ball doesn't look as though it's crossed that goal line yet.
This is a very close call.
The ruling on the field of a touchdown is under review.
So now you have to ask yourself, can you overturn that?
Is there enough evidence there to overturn it?
We called it.
Going to find out together on the other side.
The runner's knee was down prior to the ball crossing the claim. Therefore, we will place the ball at the 1/2-yard line. Please put 11:02 on the game clock. 11:02 on the game clock, please.
Great job by our crew to put that together for you. Stink circled the knee and the ball and gave it where the goal line was. The knee was down before the ball had crossed the plane. So take the touchdown from Mitchell off the board. It'll be second down and goal. Still 7-3. 11 to play here in the fourth quarter. A little bit of rest for the Philadelphia defense during that break. 49ers have had a goal line stand in this end zone already. Now Philadelphia looking for one. It's just now a 4-point game.
We've talked about the heavyweight battle going on. This is it, mano a mano. Who's tougher?
Garoppolo trying to sneak in, and he's in for the touchdown. His first rushing touchdown in 2 years. And a 16-play, 9-minute drive comes to a close.
Here it is, just coming off the ball right here. Get behind those hog mollies. Get some driving going on. Alex Mack, he's been doing it for 13 years, driving into that backfield. Look at that offensive line right there coming off the ball. Probably learned it from Tom Brady. That was also Kyle Shanahan's dad's favorite call, the QB sneak.
He's converted a couple of those in this game. One near midfield, that one into the end zone. Robbie Gould sneaks it through, and an 11-point advantage for San Francisco. With Shannon Spake after that 49er touchdown.
Yeah, you know, Adam and Mark, I know you guys are constantly watching these defensive players to see how fatigue sets in. I really saw it on the Eagles sideline during that last play. Some of the guys were actually kneeling down while they were over here, hands on hips. However, on the other side for the 49ers, they really have looked fresh for those defensive guys. You would think it would be the opposite, right? These 49ers not used to the humidity over here, but remember that they were on the East Coast in West Virginia at the Greenbrier for the last 2 weeks, acclimating to this heat and humidity, and they really stressed hydration the entire time.
It's a smart move when you spend the first 2 weeks on the road to get everybody settled in. You don't have to go back to the Bay Area after San Francisco opened up in Detroit. They opted to stay out east. Quez Watkins has had a big catch today, and he's going to get tumbled down. Good coverage in special teams for the 49ers. So you see from 15 to 18, 0-12 in the Eastern time zone. The last few years, 7-1. Now again, a lot of elements play into that, who your opponent is, all of that. We understand that. But that's still a marked distinction from those two periods of time, and Kyle Shanahan wanted to keep this team out east as to not tire them out traveling back and forth.
Well, the margins in this league, as you know, are so small. They're razor thin, right? So details, it's all about the details. And if you can stay on the same clock, body clock, you can train in the humidity, get used to it. Every little bit helps.
Jalen Hurts, deep shot. He's tested the defense a couple times today, looking for Reagor, and Jimmy Ward was up to the challenge. No flag on the play. It's 2nd down and 10.
This is a really nice play because they're running a little scissors route here. So these two offensive wide receivers are going to cross, and Jimmy Ward doesn't bite the underneath route or the out route. He stays on top of Reagor. Then he finds him there, connects with his arm, but doesn't push him out of the way. He just wants to make that feel so he can turn back, stay in contact with the receiver, and see the ball in the air. It's beautifully done by Jimmy Ward.
Hurts on the screen. They set it up, and that's the first time that Dallas Goedert has touched the football in the offense. A good gain to move the chains as we check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Adam. Bengals down by 7. Joe Burrow be intercepted by Roquan Smith. A 53-yard pick six. Andy Dalton sidelined with a knee injury. Doubtful return, so it's Justin Fields in at quarterback. Bears leading this one 17-3. Adam?
A couple of key quarterback injuries today to starters. Tua Tagovailoa in Miami and Andy Dalton in Chicago. 10 minutes to play. Jalen Hurts off the fake, running out of time. Stays on his feet somehow. Fires into traffic. It's deflected and caught. And now it's going to be ruled incomplete. Wild sequence. Miles Sanders almost came down with it. DJ Jones looked like he had Jalen Hurts dead to rights. Hurts stayed alive. And it ended up as an incompletion somehow.
Well, it all starts with Jalen Hurts, right? Buying you time, avoiding the sack, getting to the edge, and then throwing a ball that's, it's one of those that's completable. I think that's Lenoir that gets his hand in there, bounces it up right here, bam, drives on the ball up in the air. Sanders.
It is an incompletion, no possession. Wow. 2nd down. Plenty of time for Jalen Hurts. Still moving in the pocket. Bosa trying to chase him. Hurts takes off and runs and weaves his way just shy of the 40-yard line. Picked up 8 before Jimmy Ward tripped him up. 3rd down and short coming.
Well, that's just coverage. I mean, everybody is locked up right here. You see Norman on the outside. Guys in the middle of the football field, playing zone, running with players, taking away spacing. Jalen Hurts has nowhere to go, so he says, yeah, I'll do it on my own right here. And that's the beauty of having a guy that can run, that can move, that can bail you out of trouble.
The papal blessing again.
Yes.
You said earlier. On 3rd down and short, 4-man rush. Pressure on Jalen Hurts, and down he goes. Nick Bosa in the thick of it. His 2nd sack of the season, and it's 4th down. That's a matchup we've been watching. Bosa against the left tackle, Mailata.
Yeah, we'll set him up. You know, he's been going around the edge. Now he's going to go right into him, create the bull rush. Here it is. Turn your shoulder, drive him into the quarterback. You've got plenty of pressure from the other side as that pocket just constricts, and there's nowhere for the escape of Jalen Hurts. Really nice. That's a team sack right there. Bosa will get credit for it, but it's a team sack.
Ayuk looked like he almost lost the football that will land in the end zone, so it's a touchback. And San Francisco will take over at its 20-yard line. All day, we've talked about how key the defenses have been in big spots. The Niners defense has stood strong multiple times. Bosa shuts down the Niners out of their backfield last week, going to IR with that season-ending knee injury. See Elijah Mitchell getting his shoulder worked on. JaMycal Hasty is on the field, and that's Trey Sermon, the rookie out of Ohio State, the 3rd-round pick. Perhaps could get his first run in the Niners offense. They're up 2 scores with the football at the 20 and 8:17 to play. There is Hasty. second-year man out of Baylor. Work ahead for a few. Had a touchdown in a goal line set last week. Had a key reception against Detroit as well to convert a third down. We'll have to lean on him now. Yet to see Trey Lance in this game at all in any package setting. This is only, though, the third possession of the half for San Francisco. They had a punt and then the 9-minute touchdown drive on the last time they touched it. They had 8 first downs on the last series. Really haven't had to force their hand. Toss play. And a good cut by Hasty. Finding space. That was a good run. And he's got the first down. I think he's getting chippy with Harrison Sherfield on the outside.
One thing about the 49ers that makes them really unique is you see this trench warfare down here. Fletcher Cox trying to run inside, getting off. He's getting held. He's saying, hey, you know what I always used to say to those guys? If you don't like it, don't get held. I mean, that's how that works right there. But I will tell you this, like, they are so unique in that they'll line up in 2 backs, 1 tight end. They'll stay in this formation, but they'll run all their actually 3 wide sets out of this formation. They've been doing this all day long.
It's Hasty. So when you hear a phrase, it's 21 personnel, that means it's 2 running backs and 1 tight end, right? So it's the numbers that are indicative of the set.
Right. That's what they're saying right here with this little machine, right? You see the 21 right there?
So that means they're identifying from the sideline.
Right.
Okay, this is 2 running backs, 1 tight end. But it may not look like that when they line up in the formation.
So now
they're going 11.
They're going, hey man, they've switched personnel. So all of a sudden the Niners decide to take Juszczyk out, right? They leave Kittle in. They bring 1 more wide receiver in, but now they still get in a condensed formation. They are masters of getting you with personnel.
Oh, dropped by Hasty. That's a loose ball. And it's going to head out of bounds. It will stay with San Francisco. That would have been a huge Philadelphia break. There is a flag thrown after all of that from the far sideline as well.
You see it right here. Secure the ball. Then he kicks it. Trying to pick it up.
Remember, when it's tossed backwards, it's still a live ball. When it goes out of bounds, typically the call would be that it's out of bounds at the spot it went out.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 96, defense. 15-yard penalty at the end of the play, automatic first down.
That is a huge misfire from Derek Barnett because San Francisco was going to have to move backwards on the next play, but Barnett ends up getting tagged with a penalty.
Well, here he comes down. He's going to hit Hasty right here in the back. Zero reason to do it. That's just one of those frustration fouls. You make a play. Really, the first play of this half is a defense, right? This is only the 3rd possession the 49ers have had. They've had long possessions. They've eaten up the clock. They've scored a touchdown. You finally make a play on the defensive side of the ball, and you make a dumb penalty.
If he doesn't make that penalty, it's 3rd and 15 for San Francisco back where the ball went out of bounds. Instead, it's 1st and 10. And Trey Sermon is in there for the first time for San Francisco in the backfield. Here he is, the rookie out of Ohio State. And he's got a first down on his first run, but he lost the ball. It's picked up by Darius Slay. Philadelphia with a huge takeaway. Flag is thrown on the play. Slay finally takes it out of bounds. What a turn here in Philadelphia. And after all that, Sermon is still down. Sermon finally gets the call, his first touch in the NFL. He loses the ball and had some injury to the play. Slay takes it back. Obviously, we'll have to sort out the penalty marker as well after all of this.
Teammates concerned for their rookie teammate. See Jimmy Garoppolo.
And you've talked about it all day. This has been physical all day. Trench game, ground and pound type of game. Boy, Hasty fumbled one. And the next offensive snap that San Francisco had, Sermon lost it. But the major concern right now is for his health. Personal foul is the call. Step away for a moment. Zone power, but was going to be tended to medically. This is still San Francisco football. Dean Blandino is with us. Can you walk us through this, DB?
Yeah, big foul here. Kayvon Wallace is going to lower his head and initiate contact with the helmet. That's a use of helmet foul. So the ball is going to stay with San Francisco. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the fumble, and a big penalty in this situation.
Yeah, they spotted the fumble at the 50 when Sermon lost it and took that, absorbed that contact from the helmet of Kayvon Wallace. Because it occurred before the fumble, then San Francisco keeps that ball. This is an adjustment to the rule book the last couple of years. 15 yards from the fumble is to the 35 of Philadelphia. So Hasty and Sermon fumble for the 49ers on each of the last two plays, but on those plays, Derek Barnett and now Kayvon Wallace commit penalties that keep the ball with the 49ers, and now time is becoming a factor with 5.5 to go.
Huge mistakes, both personal fouls. And Kayvon Wallace, I understand you're flying around, you're trying to make a play, but what they're trying to keep out of this game is when you lower the head to initiate that contact. If you keep the head up, you know, you're probably going to be okay, but obviously it's the right call. And
now Trenton Cannon is the third different running back on 3 straight plays for San Francisco, and this is going to go for a loss as Harris and Singleton are in the backfield. Second down and 11 coming up, approaching 5 minutes to play. And Philadelphia, with all 3 timeouts with which to work, will use one here.
Well, they're coming with the house right there. That is everything. Bringing out all their guys, all their linebackers, trying to get that thing stopped. Checked it over to the toss plays to create an opportunity for their run game, and that's been the difference.
Elijah Mitchell back into the game. He gets the carry here and sets up a 3rd down and short as Kayvon Wallace continues to aggressively go after the ball carriers. 8 yards on that play, 3rd down and 3 coming up. And Philadelphia will use another timeout. Third down and 3. Trying to convert again. Singleton made the initial contact and everybody else rallies. 4th down coming up.
The aggressiveness, everybody just playing downhill. Singleton playing downhill. Slay getting in there. Wallace getting in.
Let's go down to Shannon Spake with more.
Yeah, I got some updates for you guys right now. JaMycal Hasty, he is questionable with an ankle injury. You just saw Trey Sermon. He's walking into the locker room, hearing that he is being evaluated for a head injury, but he was able to walk over there all by himself with the medical team around him.
So again, Shannon just mentioned a bunch of running backs. This has been a problem for San Francisco. Obviously, Philadelphia was a pretty banged-up team last year too, but the 49ers put so many of their players on injured reserve. They had all the injury issues from week 1, and it continues to haunt their backfield right now.
Yeah, I mean, you must feel a bit snake-bitten, right? Last year, you had more people on IR. You had more starters miss games than any other team in football, and now it seems to be kind of repeating itself this year.
This to make it a 2-touchdown lead for Gould, and he sneaks it through again from 46. Career make number 403 for Robbie Gould. It makes it a 14-point lead. Jalen Hurts and the offense trying to get going. 265 total yards for Philadelphia today. 91 of them came on that big play to Watkins. This was a key play in the game, though, too. We thought it was going to be a Rager touchdown, but he stepped out with the coverage of Lenore. This ends up losing points. That's the first time Jake Elliott has had a field goal blocked in the NFL. And then on 4th down, trying to find some magic from the old Philly special play. Nothing doing when they had 1st and goal. There have been some chances, and Philadelphia has not taken advantage.
It really comes down to the missed opportunities by the Philadelphia Eagles. You mentioned it, the touchdown that gets called back because out of bounds, the 91-yard pitch and catch to Watkins that you can't convert a touchdown on, or any points for that matter, and that really is the difference today.
Yeah, Hurts 76 yards passing on all the other plays if you take out the big Watkins grab for 91. Watkins will let that sail. No more timeouts now for Philadelphia, so 5 minutes to play. That's been the story of the day for the Philadelphia offense, which put up a season-best 32 points. And I say that season-best, obviously it was one game. I'm saying over the last season plus. They hadn't scored 30 points until last week against Atlanta. Not been able to get traction today. There's 2 key penalties on the last series as well for the Eagles, not helping them out. As time ticked away, now 5 to go. Underneath, it's Gainwell. Good moves by Kenny Gainwell. He'll pick up 9. Tackled by Warner. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Adam. Bengals trailed 20-3 with less than 5 minutes left following a Justin Fields interception. Joe Burrow finds T. Higgins for this 7-yard score. Bengals now down by 3.
On 2nd down here, it's Jalen Hurts again. He's going to run for the 1st down and head over to the sideline. So chains with his legs again.
What you're doing right now, if you're San Francisco, is you're trying to play tight to the sideline, force everything into the middle of the football field. You'll give up yardage on short completions, but make tackles in the middle. Keep that clock running. Don't let them get to the edge. And obviously, the opposite is true for Philly. Yep. You're trying to work the edges of the football field. You're trying to give your guys opportunities to catch it, get out of bounds with yardage.
Now you've ducked inside of 5 minutes, so the clock rules change. Hurts rolling along the edges again, trying to use his athleticism and speed, and he's going to be out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Jimmy Ward making the contact, and a late flag is thrown. "27-yard run from Jalen Hurts, plus what could be 15 more.
Well, this is one where the quarterbacks get you, right? Because they keep running, and you're expecting them to step out of bounds, and then they, will deke you. They'll keep running down there. Jimmy Ward's just trying to make that, force that out of bounds, but obviously he gets him after Jalen Hurts, the last second, steps out.
See if there's any change of the minds of the officials here.
After the play was over,
nope.
Personal foul, late head out of bounds, defense, half the distance to the goal, automatic 1st down.
It's a half the distance penalty once you get inside the 30, but that is another good break for Philadelphia. Now San Francisco commits a bad penalty.
And I think that's smart by the quarterback, right? You see him slow down on the sideline, then he speeds up, and as a defender, you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? Just let him go? And that's the quandary you put Jimmy Ward into, and it's smart. It's almost like an acting role by your quarterback, get himself extra yardage, and then tack on the penalty afterwards.
Into the red zone from the 15, 1st and 10. Hurts throws, and it is caught in traffic by Dallas Goedert. A quiet day for the most part for the Philadelphia tight end, but a key catch for 14, and it's 1st and goal for the Eagles.
Here he is fighting for extra yardage. See how close? Oh, just shy.
Now a quarterback sneak. Hurts trying to power ahead. A flag was thrown, though, from the near side of the field. It is ruled a touchdown. Keep that in mind. Ruled a touchdown initially, but we have to check the flag.
Offside. Defense number 55. Lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty has declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
And Jalen Hurts, using his legs on that drive, keeps the Eagles going. Back within a touchdown. 65 seconds on that series. 75 yards.
I think there were a couple of guys offsides right there. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You've seen Jimmy Garoppolo convert a bunch of quarterback sneaks. Well, they said, hey, man, if they're going to do it, we're going to get it too. Nick Sirianni calling the quarterback sneak there for Jalen Hurts. And that's unbelievable that you can get that quick a score just over a minute and put yourself right back in this game.
So now it's an 8-point game. This is a 1-score game. So they're going to go for 2 here to try to make it a 6-point game. If they don't convert, it's still a 1-possession game. Little toss play. Here comes Gainwell, and he's in. We got a ball game in the city of brotherly love with 4 minutes to go.
You love it when wide receivers get involved. Look we got wide receivers over here setting the edge for us. Devontae Smith driving people into the end zone, and Gainwell taking advantage. Also, Arthega getting a good block out there. Zach Ertz, I know he's a tight end, but come on, he plays like a wide receiver out there. The way he catches the ball, he's so skilled.
Second straight week that Philadelphia has converted a 2-point conversion. It keeps this game at 6. That penalty by Jimmy Ward was a key one. San Francisco still has 2 timeouts. Remember, the Eagles are without a timeout, but defensively they can use the 2-minute warning.
And remember last week, the 49ers gave up an onside kick.
That's right.
To Detroit last week.
Remember last week, it was a hefty lead for San Francisco. They were up 41-17 with 2 minutes to go. Kittle had an onside kick attempt go off his face mask, and the Lions recovered it. They made it a 1-score game late. Trenton Cannon on the return, and he's just going to dive ahead to the 15.
I had a couple fumbles there in the last drive, and Cannon said, not this time. I'm not fumbling. I'm getting down.
That was a smart kick as well, because now you have to burn a few more seconds. I think that's what Trenton Cannon was making sure. He wanted to secure the football, but it's a smart play by Philadelphia's special teams unit.
And pin him down deep.
You don't want to give up a touchback if you don't have to.
Right, and San Francisco coming off its own goal line. You've eliminated some of the plays that you can run. There's things that you're not comfortable doing now from this position in the field. Now it's all out. You got to bring pressure. If you're Philly, you got to bring the pressure.
Here's Mitchell. Fletcher Cox is there. Maybe a yard on the play.
Fletcher Cox just standing people up. Look at the hands. Fletcher Cox right there on the outside. Watch the hands right here. Standing people up, getting into the backfield, shedding blocks, bodies over the top.
Man.
I mean, come on. How do you not love this game?
Old school NFC football today. 3.5 to go, second down. Play clock winding down. Garoppolo gets the snap. Checks down underneath, and he's got Kyle Juszczyk, who tumbles his way close to the sticks. If you're San Francisco, I imagine Kyle Shanahan's in no hurry. Like to burn as much time as possible with Philadelphia out of timeouts.
3rd and short. They've had several of these. The quarterback sneak has worked every time. Do you stick with it?
And this is a key play because you got 2:48 left. San Francisco looks like they may use a timeout here. So they'll talk things over. Oh, Juszczyk is down. That's the issue right now. They're checking on Kyle.
Oh, yeah, he's getting himself some water. It looks like he's cramping up.
This will be a key play, though, on 3rd down. You convert here.
Let's check it out. Singletary on the tackle. Singleton, excuse me. Wilson coming over on top.
Again, if you convert here, you can probably take it all the way down to the 2-minute warning with a fresh set of downs, or at least close to it. And if you get to the 2-minute warning with a fresh set of downs and your opponent is out of timeouts, you can pretty much salt the game away. This is giving Philadelphia's defense, though, another kind of key time, almost a formal timeout, so to speak, to rest up a little bit. Sirianni's used all 3 of his timeouts for the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Had to use them on defense. So now you really get into clock management here, but it's essentially going to come down to one stop.
QB sneak hasn't failed you yet. Do you go back to the well one more time?
Well, for Kyle Shanahan, you've talked about it. He's a play repeater. 3rd and 1. Here we go. Quarterback sneak, and it is a first down for Jimmy Garoppolo. And that will take you to the 2-minute warning, and it essentially salts the game. Off the right side of Alex Mack, his center.
And he felt the pressure coming from the opposite side. You could see him just eyeballing that pressure. Kittle on top, celebrating down to the 2-minute warning.
With a 6-point San Francisco lead intact and the football, it has been a physical game today. The trenches is where it's been played. 2-minute warning in Philadelphia. Jimmy Garoppolo with the quarterback sneak on 3rd down and 1 to get the fresh set of downs. Philadelphia out of timeouts. This was a game, Stink, that was dominated for the majority of the first half by the Eagles, but they squandered some opportunities when they had chances. And in the second half, end of the first, into the second, San Francisco with 2 long touchdown drives, and their defense was able to make plays when they needed to.
Philadelphia, to me, their defense dominant up front for the majority of this game. Obviously, the very last drive of the second half, they gave up the touchdown drive, but you see the battle of attrition that goes on when you spend too much time on the football field. An elite level defense will tire out.
One more knee will do it. For those of you just joining us, this is how we got to this point. Jimmy Garoppolo got off to a cold start, but at the end of the first half, a solid drive. 90-plus yard series ending in a Jawan Jennings touchdown. Another 90-plus yard drive ending in a Jimmy Garoppolo quarterback sneak for a score. Philadelphia muscling back with a late touchdown with Jalen Hurts running it in from the goal line. And San Francisco salts the game away, and they're going to move to 2-0 for the first time in 2 years. Philadelphia is trying to start 2-0 for the first time since 2016, but the 49ers will spoil Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni's home debut in front of the fans this season.
Yeah, but you have a lot to build on here if you're the Philadelphia Eagles. You have a massive group up front, offensive line, defensive line. You can control the line of scrimmage, and you're going to continue to grow from this performance. The 49ers are a good football team, and you played them very tight today. So a lot to learn from here.
San Francisco will be in prime time next Sunday night in its home opener against the Green Bay Packers, whom they lost to a year ago. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles have prime time on Monday night next week as they go on the road to take on the Dallas Cowboys. 2-0 start for Kyle Shanahan out east. We'll wrap things up after this.